Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, with another new lecture of C.I.T. 244, Electronics 2. Today we will discuss on another type of very sophisticated type, which is basically comparatively we will discuss on this topic, which is counter. In counters we will discuss how a counter works and what is its basic construction and what is the basic function of counter. What flip-flops basically does when they combinely creates or to make a flip-flop type counter, and what type of counters used in the counters, flip-flops are used in the counters. So here are the basic introduction. This is basically a basic introduction of counters on which I am going to discuss with you today. So the counters, what is the definition of a counter? Such an electronic circuit which receives clock pulse on its input and count them and display those counted pulses in the form of digital codes. Those are visually the binary codes basically, or BCD codes, binary coded decimal codes, which the counters display on the output through digital, some digital circuits. The types of counters, basically there are two types of counters. Number one is synchronous counter and number two is asynchronous counter. These are the basically two types of counters through which number of pulses are counted, and those are shown in mostly, usually we see them in the form of BCD codes. So the first term is first type here is synchronous counter. What is a synchronous counter? A synchronous counter, such type of counter which changes its output from one state to another state. For say, first state is 000. When we apply a clock pulse on its flip-flops, then what will happen? It will simply happen that it will convert the next state, that will be 001. And when the clock pulse is 001, when we apply another clock pulse on its input, the output state will be changed on the provision of clock pulse, and that will become 0010 and so on. The next type is asynchronous counter. Asynchronous counter does not change its state, does not, it will not change its state on the provision of clock pulse. Then what it will happen, it is a pretty simple thing. It changes its state on provision of one flip-flop's output will become the input of another flip-flop, and this sequence will display on the output. It simply means that one flip-flop is cascaded with another flip-flop, and this cascading of output to input connectivity basically displays the output in a sequence. Simply it means that one flip-flop's output will become the second stage of flip-flop's input, and this will become a pretty simple sequence of clock pulses through which it will show the data in. Also, it will also be in the form of BCD codes, that are basically binary coded decimal codes. So we will come towards the types of counters according to the output. What are the state of, we almost in electronics, we see the things or we measure the things on basis of their inputs and outputs. So here in electronics, we are studying the digital electronics, types of counters according to their outputs. Previously we discussed them on the basis of their inputs, that was synchronous and asynchronous type. Now we will discuss the things, the counters on the basis of their output. What are the types of according to the output? There are basically two types according to the output. One is up counter and the second type is down counter. So first up counter. What is up counter? Such type of counters will begins its input to minimum to maximum level. What is the minimum level? Output minimum level is 000 in BCD form. and the maximum level is 111. So up counter, what is the working of up counter? Up counter rises the data from 00 to its maximum state, that is 111. And we know that after 000, the next state is 001, then 0010, then 0011. So those are basically a large number of statements till I think 11 to 12 digits in the decimal. So minimum to maximum level, that is 002 upward, that is simply 111. So these are the up counters. The second state is down counter. Down counters are such type of counters. Those do the opposite work. Like up counters were beginning their data, counting their data from 00 to 111. But what happened in down counters? In down counters, we have a data on output from 111 to 000. Simply it means that we have a data from maximum state to minimum state of output. Dear students, I'm hopeful that you may understand this introductory lecture on counters, and soon inshallah we will have a detailed topic on synchronous and asynchronous counters. We will study their circuit constructions, we will discuss on their block diagrams, we will discuss on their main structures. Stay safe, stay home, and if you found any kind of problems, you may ask me on my WhatsApp number or in Google class. Thank you so much. Happy winter season.